She's never named. She appears out of nowhere, and yet she changed everything. Cain's wife is one of the Bible's most whispered about enigmas. No name, no origin story, just one line and a flood of questions. Where did she come from? If Adam and Eve were the first humans, was she his sister, a stranger, or something far more mysterious? Today, we travel into the shadows of Eden and beyond to uncover the ancient riddle of the first woman never named. This is the story of Cain's mysterious wife. You might miss her entirely. She shows up in Genesis chapter 4, verse 17, tucked neatly between a murder and a city. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. And he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. That's it. One sentence. No name, no details. But that single line opens a chasm of questions. Because just a few verses earlier, we were told that only Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel existed. Abel was dead. Cain was cursed. And now Cain has a wife? Where did she come from? The Bible doesn't flinch. It simply moves forward, as if we shouldn't ask, but we do ask, because something about this is deeply unsettling. Cain's wife becomes the Bible's first woman of mystery, a shadow figure, essential but undefined. There are several theories, each with passionate believers and fierce critics. The first theory is that she was Cain's sister. The most common explanation is also the most uncomfortable. Adam and Eve had other sons and daughters, and one of those daughters became Cain's wife. And Adam lived 800 years after he begat Seth, and he begat sons and daughters. Genesis chapter 5, verse 4. This implies a growing population. But if Cain married his sister, how soon did this happen after Abel's death? Was the world so desperate to continue that family boundaries dissolved overnight? Was this normal or a necessary evil? In early Genesis, morality evolves slowly. There are no laws against incest yet. Survival demanded proximity. But it's still a theory that makes many readers uneasy. The second theory is that she was from another lineage, outside Eden. What if Cain's wife wasn't his sister? What if she didn't come from Adam and Eve at all? This theory suggests that other humans existed outside the Garden of Eden, created by God, but not part of the Edenic bloodline. Perhaps Adam and Eve were simply the first of a chosen line, not the only humans alive. Genesis chapter 1 verse 27 says, "So God created mankind in his own image, male and female. He created them." Some argue this speaks of humanity broadly, while Genesis 2 zooms into Adam and Eve specifically. Could Cain's wife have descended from this broader creation? Was she a daughter of another tribe? Another line with another history? After killing Abel, Cain was cast out. "You shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth." Genesis chapter 4, verse 12. And yet, he settles down, he marries, he builds a city. This woman, his wife, becomes the symbol of a new beginning. But who was she to accept a man like Cain? Cain bore the mark of a cursed man. He was feared, even protected by God from vengeance. And yet, someone loved him, trusted him, carried his child. What kind of woman marries a murderer exiled by God himself? Was she drawn to his darkness, or was she simply chosen? Cain's wife is never mentioned again, but she is the mother of Enoch, the first builder, the first urbanizer, the root of civilization. Cain built a city and named it after his son. But behind that city was a woman. She raised Enoch. She likely taught him, nurtured him, perhaps even advised her husband. Her influence echoes in every stone of that first city. And yet, she vanishes. She doesn't just lack a name, she lacks a story. What kind of legacy is that? A woman who helped launch the first society, forgotten by name, remembered only in consequence. Cain's wife may also be symbolic, a representation of the world outside Eden, the moment humanity steps out of the garden into something new, broken, yes, but evolving. Cain didn't just marry a woman, he married a future. She is the first mother of those born outside the garden. If Adam and Eve represent innocence lost, Cain and his wife represent what comes next. A world no longer perfect, but still sacred, still human, still growing. Jewish midrash, Islamic tradition, and early Christian commentary all speculate about her. Some traditions call her Awan, a daughter of Adam and Eve. Others call her Luluwa, but these are guesses. None are found in the original biblical text. In Islamic texts, she is said to have been beautiful, too created for Cain, but her name is still not preserved. Even ancient writers felt the absence. Her missing name isn't just a detail, it's a silence that echoes across centuries. Was her identity lost or deliberately hidden? In a male-dominated world, women's names were often left out, especially if their existence disrupted the narrative or challenged neat theology. Cain's wife raises uncomfortable questions. 1. Were there other humans? 2. Did humanity expand through incest? 3. Did Cain create a civilization without God's blessing? Her name might have threatened the order of the story. So, she became anonymous. What can we learn from a woman never named? She reminds us that invisible people shape history. Mothers, wives, daughters, forgotten in text, unforgettable in impact. She reminds us that God's story isn't always linear. There are gaps, mysteries, silences, and sometimes the people in those silences are the ones who hold the greatest keys. Cain's mysterious wife is proof that even the unnamed have a place in divine history. Her legacy lives on in the cities we build, the children we raise, and the mysteries we still chase. So, who was Cain's wife? A sister? A stranger? A daughter of another creation? We may never know, but her presence speaks louder than her name. She is a question wrapped in silence, a mother of civilization, a woman veiled in mystery. If this story stirred your curiosity, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who loves digging into the Bible's deepest mysteries. And in the comments below, tell us, what part of her story fascinated you the most? Was it her silence, her survival, or the possibility that she came from a world we were never meant to see? Until next time, keep questioning, because every shadow in the Bible hides a deeper truth.